Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 quick, cheap, easy ways to improve the value of your home. And you know what's funny is these are the simplest, easiest things that no one ever thinks about sharing, and I don't understand why. I mean, it's some stuff you can almost all do on your own. So I always say the first and most important thing to get to the best value out of your home is to minimize, right? Number one thing is take stuff out of your house. You're going to be moving anyway if you're trying to get it to sell, so put it in boxes and get it out. Less is more. Remember, that chair that nobody sits in, your grandfather's chair that's in the corner that's been there for 3 years, take it out, get it out of the room, make the room look bigger, right? It gives more space and more volume to the room. Empty out some shelves. If you have decorative shelves, for sure. I always tell people, almost always, 9 times out of 10, if you've got a decorative shelf, take half the stuff off the shelf. Take half of it. You can get rid of half of that stuff, box it up, because the shelves are going to look a lot nicer with less stuff. Second, this is a simple one, but it requires you to work, and it's something I hate to do, so I can't blame you if you don't do it, but whatever. The most beneficial thing you can do to your home is paint. It's so funny, you go into some of these houses and you look in them and there's colors from, it's so crazy how colors have years on them, right? Like those yellows from the 90s, the bright yellow room. Now it's more neutral, soft tones, grays, whites, very simple colors are actually in right now. So there's also bold colors that people can say. Everybody will say this is in, that's in, whatever. But the reality of it is simple colors are better. Lighter colors show off the size of a room. So remember that, right? So if you have a small room, you don't want to use dark colors because it makes the room look smaller. I can't tell you that you have to do it to your house, but it definitely does make a huge impact. I've noticed it's funny because honestly, an experience of mine is I had a client who had a house that had some colors in it. It was really nice. It was nicely painted. It looked good, but then but it was bright yellows. And I said, I think it'd probably be better if you go ahead and paint it more neutral colors and more local colors. So they repainted. The change was dramatic, right? And the feedback was overwhelming that it changed everything. Number 3 is another simple one. It's actually your curb appeal. Some simple mulch or fluffing up your flower beds, trimming down your bushes, cutting your grass, and making sure it looks good. Sometimes some power washing on the front. Power washers are a great investment, by the way. Just hose down the front of your house and keeps it clean looking and fresh looking. Now, in some houses you may require some paint too. But in most cases, a simple power washing, cleaning, fresh flower beds, maybe some flowers. Even if they're just temporary, it would look really, really good. Curb appeal is the number one thing. I always say you can't sell the inside of a house until somebody likes the outside. So if you like the outside of the house, you're going to go inside and want to see more. 4th on the list, I think I got my numbers right. 4th is going to be, honestly, it's really about organization. I talked about minimizing earlier, but just having less stuff doesn't make it nicer. A simple rug in a room that's empty changes the room dramatically. You can always ask your real estate professional. We have staging advice from people. We have lots of support. So you can definitely get somebody to help you kind of stage the area and make it look better for you. And the key to that always, always, always is trying to make the room look bigger. No matter how big the room is, most of the time you need it to look larger than it already does, right? And so it's pretty important for you to go ahead and do that and make sure the space looks the best that it can be. So lastly, number 5, big number 5. Number 5 is probably the silliest one, but it makes the most sense. And that is clean your house. There's nothing worse than you go into a house and it's dirty. I mean, that means wipe down your baseboards and maybe bring in some fresh flowers when you're done. A clean house definitely sells better than a dirty house. There's no question about that. So if you want to get your house ready for sale, the big thing is cleaning. I actually recommend my clients, usually there's 2 things I say. If it's a little overwhelming, hire somebody to come in and clean it for you one time, and then you can clean behind them and do it the way you want it to be. At least that way you've got all the worst part out of the way. So those are 5 tips to get your house ready for sale. And honestly, if you follow those 5 tips, you should sell your house quickly, or I can for you, whatever you want to do. But hopefully they were helpful, and if they were, please like and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you'll get a lot more out of this and continue to follow us. Talk to you guys later.